The GOAT?
The GOAT.
What?
In Murfreesboro.
Jessica, Murfreesboro is not a place for fine dining. It's not a place where you get delicious food.
I know, but there's no
nothing
place
good
for fine
there.
dining. Like, Nashville's too out of the way.
Okay. Nashville, you driving through Nashville to get there.
Not really. You drive around Nashville.
Okay. Oh, I forgot they finished that part of the interstate.
Like, you never go.
Yeah, they finished that
you would
part.
have to go up.
They finished that part.
Yeah,
that
so you
takes
take
you
840
straight to
Murfreesboro, and
Jessica,
then straight down from Murfreesboro.
I don't know if Murfreesboro has a chain restaurant that we don't have here that you might want to get. And this is with all due respect to the fine citizens of Murfreesboro. You're not getting anything super unique in Murfreesboro,
Well,
dog.
my other option was it's almost the same distance to go through like Huntsville and Decatur.
There's nothing unique there
and
either.
Muscle Shores.
There's-
I've always wanted to go to Muscle Shores.
There's nothing unique in any of those places.
There actually is not food unique, but outside Huntsville on the way, or I think we're gonna do this on the way back, is the Lost Luggage store,
Okay.
where all the lost luggage gets sent. It's like a thrift store,
Okay.
but I don't know food.
Maybe you'll find something. I'm sure
The
you
South
got
is
some
known
luggage
for
there.
food. Someone's got to tell me like there's got to be like a gas station, like some gas station
No,
on the
it's-
drive
Jessica.
from Memphis to Chattanooga.
Do you want to stop at Dodge's in Jackson?
I want a version of that, but authenticity.
What do you mean authenticity?
I don't know. Just tell me out there, anybody.
There's nothing.
If you have a place
Jessica,
to
it's
eat
middle
on the
rural
drive
America.
from Memphis to Chattanooga.
There's not going to be anything there.
Like, you know the chicken on the stick in Oxford?
Okay.
Like that, I want something like that.
There's not that. You better get this McDonald's or Taco Bell and call it a day. What was the song?
The song was Gorgeous by St. John.
What's that about?
I don't know. I liked the sound of it. I looked it up. It came out in 2020.
Okay. That sounds like one that can be deleted.
Trying to get her money. She was 19. Moving to Miami
you can
was her
delete
life's
it.
dream.
You can delete it.
It might be. It had a good vibe,
That's the
though.
Murfreesboro song.
It had a good vibe. What's up, everybody? It is a Wednesday, February 12th. It is going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass coming up on today's show. The Memphis Grizzlies got back on the winning track, got the win in Phoenix last night. We'll have highlights and reaction from the game, and it is another Grizzlies game day with the team facing the Clippers tonight, last game before the All-Star break. We'll do a little oops, we missed it again, stories from the week we have not gotten to. Amongst them, the NFL coaching search has come to an end. All of the roles have been filled, plus Unrivaled had one-on-one, and it was awesome. We'll talk about if the NBA could ever do something like that. DeAngelo Williams will join us about 40 minutes in. We never know what we'll chat with him about. And then we'll do some WTF and story time. If you are joining us live, be sure to vote on the story time options of the day. Also, hit that like button. We'll make it through a Wednesday. You know what we say.
Turning you off.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
If you go to a hustle game, you're going to see a very fast-paced game. A lot of action, both offensively, defensively.
Nice rejection right there.
In a great environment at the Lander Center. You could bring family there, kids are running around.
Down the lane and one for Zion Poland.
And then you're going to see a lot of talented basketball players competing at a high level.
At the National Civil Rights Museum, history moves us forward. The question remains, how does history move you?
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush, and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
We did get a new shoe that dropped today that we should all be able to get if we want it.
Fire.
And it's been one people have been waiting for a long, long time.
Yep.
Asia Wilson. What do you guys think about the shoe?
I love it.
It looks great. We see people wearing Jaws. We see a lot of people wearing the GT line. But then also we see a lot of NBA players wearing the Sabrinas.
Sabrina, yeah.
I bet you there's going to be a lot of NBA players wearing that.
I agree with you on that.
Oh, yeah.
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, I have it my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. If you can make it through Wednesday, you can.
Nah, turn your mic off. We're not doing that live.
Listen,
I'm telling you, Casey Jones is where you should probably go.
Casey Jones and Jackson.
Yes.
We're driving from Memphis to Chattanooga before we get to important business with the Grizzlies win last night. Memphis to Chattanooga, if anyone has a must-stop recommendation along the way, I want to eat some good, authentic Memphis to Chattanooga food on my drive out yonder to the other side of the state. So far, I've circled in on Murfreesboro and a place called The Goat. There's got to be something better than The Goat, although it is The Goat, which means it is the greatest
Jessica,
of all.
it's Murfree. What are you expecting from Murfreesboro?
I'm not technically.
It's Tennessee's 8th largest city, I think. Like, what are you? Nashville, Memphis, Chattanooga, Knoxville, Clarksville, Jackson. Maybe Murfreesboro is 7th. Like, what are you expecting in Murfreesboro or Laverne or one of these other cities?
Something good.
No.
Something great.
It's no.
I really want like a shack. Like I want a shack where it's like this is the place to go.
Yeah, no, Jessica, there's those
little
things
dirt
aren't
on
there.
my food.
No.
I looked up Muscle Shoals because you could also go through Alabama, like the Huntsville direction, and my dad told me Muscle Shoals isn't a song, and there's a recording studio in Muscle Shoals, and there is like a barbecue shack there, but I think we're gonna do that on the way back. I don't know. This was put in my hands to figure out. The chat is helping. They've got some options. The Loveless Cafe in Nashville, Buc-ee's.
I said
there's
Nashville.
A
there's not a Buc-ee's.
I didn't think there was a Buc-ee's. Thank you.
There's not.
I did that research last night. I thought someone was saying I was wrong.
Also, that Buc-ee's would be in Fayette County, which is like 30 minutes into your trip.
Yeah, see, that's the problem with Jackson. Someone gave a Picasso pizza in Jackson.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's great. It's Picasso. I like it.
Yeah, Jessica,
All right.
if you're trying to go that late.
Listen, I'm just trying to survive this morning because God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. That's what I tell myself every time. There is a 9 o'clock tip, but then throw in the fact that I broke a nail during the game last night, too. Okay, it is no. I'm going out of town. You don't understand. You don't understand the plight of breaking a nail the night before you go out of town.
Also.
It's all, yeah, I know. And then I was trying to take my contacts out, and you don't know what it's like to have half fake nails and one real nail trying to get your contacts out. You scratch it. Then I woke up this morning, and I'm out of coffee because we didn't do our normal grocery shopping. Oh no, CJ, I was up until 12:15. Whatever. It's always easier with a win. Let's hit the highlights from Phoenix last night. Grizzlies Suns, don't let Bol distract you from the number 2 team in the West. And All-Star Jaren Jackson Jr. with the lob to Ja Morant. The midair finish starts the scoring for the Grizzlies. A little later, put it in reverse. This time, Ja, the vision, Jaren, the finish. I'm just asking the room, who wouldn't want to play with that? I'm just asking. Grizz can't be thirsty in the desert when the wells run this deep. The rookie with a couple early threes, and then to the bench, Santi, por favor! Aldama scored 11 straight for the Grizzlies. Put a little Spanish sauce on it. Grizzlies led 36-26 after the first. Like Bueller said, when you play the Grizzlies, life moves pretty fast. And if you don't stop and look around once in a while, they'll suddenly be up 18. Scottie Pippen, the nice feed to Brandon Clark there. Now, every other highlight package of this game is going to focus on Kevin Durant hitting 30,000 career points. And salute the Slim Reaper. But this one's just going to give you a Ja Morant mixtape. Sorry, Tyus. Grizzlies had 68 points in the first half and just 2 turnovers. Second half, grab the Clorox because that one, it's filthy. Woo, that hand switcheroo. And then behind the back, find to Zach Edey. Grizzlies up 11 midway through the third quarter. Desmond Bane, his range is unlimited. Bane, 20 points. Suns hanging around. Grizzlies trying to put the light out in this one. BC finish puts them back up 11. And this is what happens when you let Bol distract you. Ja Morant goes straight to the bucket. He had 26. Grizz win 119-112, and Ja makes sure KD gets the game ball. He's like, here, take it. This is yours. You got 30,000 points. It was made on a free throw. And after that free throw, I think the Suns went on a 12-4 run. And I was like, oh, God, this cannot happen. After they were so dominant for a stretch, go up in a blink in the first half, didn't close the first half particularly well, and then struggled to just put this team away in the second half. But CJ, I want to do a little game, because we're all just waking up together on a Wednesday with no coffee and one nail. I would like you to repeat after me.
What?
The Grizzlies win.
The Grizzlies win.
Wins are fun.
Wins are fun.
The Grizzlies are 36-17.
The Grizzlies are 36-17.
The Grizzlies are second in the West.
The Grizzlies are second in the West.
The Grizzlies are healthy.
The Grizzlies are healthy.
The Grizzlies won on national TV.
The Grizzlies won on national TV.
The Grizzlies haven't lost 2 games in a row since the first week of January.
The Grizzlies haven't lost. That's a long one. 2 games in a row since the first week of January.
That was good. Nicely done. I want everybody to remind themselves those things. They won. It was fun. Ja Morant got to give Kevin Durant the game ball in a game where Kevin Durant hits 30,000 points. And listen, I would have given heaven and earth. I would have given the Bass Pro Pyramid for that man because he is one of the greatest scorers we have ever seen, and he is so smooth with it. But if the Suns don't have Kevin Durant, I'm not sure they win another game. And Kevin Durant sure gets 30,000 points, but it's in a loss. And the story is the Memphis Grizzlies, who are second in the Western Conference, who have not lost 2 games in a row since the beginning of January. And I understand that it can be frustrating watching a game, especially knowing you're on the first night of a back-to-back, late starts, it's leading into the All-Star break, and things get really weird going into the All-Star break. I don't know if you watched the happenings of the Pistons-Bulls game last night, but it felt pretty typical. Oh my God, this can't be a real score. And then you remember it's the week of the All-Star break and some weird stuff happens. At one point that game was 10-6, and then at halftime it was 71-29. To go from 10-6 to 71-29, you know I'm really bad at math. I think that's a 61-23 run for the Detroit Pistons. Don't fact check on that. Was that right? I said it confidently.
I mean, you got the 21 right.
Is the other part right?
I don't know. What was the score?
I don't know.
I
6 to
can't
something. Whatever. It was correct.
It was
My point being is you could come out the week of the All-Star break and you could be like the Chicago Bulls. Granted, I would hope the Grizzlies aren't like the Chicago Bulls, and we've established they are on very different trajectories in this season. But I loved that the team was able to pull it together in the end. I was not prepared to have death by Bol, even though as I was getting ready to watch this 9 o'clock tip, and I saw that Bol was starting in a game in 2025 for the Phoenix Suns, I got excited. I was like, ooh, this is going to be a fun one. His name's Bol. It's first name Bull, last name Bull. There is a general excitement, and I've been a big Bol fan for years, since he was on the Denver Nuggets, since we saw Point Bol at one point, and could imagine what could be of this man. And he was good. And then I was like, I can't have the Grizzlies just lose to Bol. And he hit that 3. And then the Suns didn't get back on defense. And that felt great. And I was finally able to start trying to wind down and close my little eyes. And appreciate another Grizzlies win. This team is really good. Like we talked about it coming out of the Thunder game. They're a really good team, and the difference between good to great is something that still needs to be situated. Tonight's game against the Clippers will be a really good test coming on the second night of a back-to-back. Teams like the Suns are not the kind of teams the Grizzlies have struggled with this season. The Grizzlies have put away teams that they are supposed to beat, for the most part. Let's not go back to the Nets game early in the year, but for the most part, as of late, the teams that are now below 500, the Suns are after last night's loss, they're not one of the more physical teams in the league. And the Grizzlies got the win, and that's what you would like to see.
Absolutely. You don't get to, be second in the West by losing a game like that. But we all know what this is. We know team like that when you say, a team that the Grizzlies struggle against. It's a team with physicality, specifically physical perimeter players. They don't have anybody... I have yet to see somebody on the Grizzlies on the perimeter be able to match the physicality from somebody else's physical perimeter players. And in the playoffs, it becomes a matchup thing. We see it happen sometimes where, that's just a bad matchup. Think about the Dirk Nowitzki Mavs losing to the 8-seeded Warriors, right? That was just a matchup thing. Think about this Grizzlies franchise up against the Spurs in the series that they won in the first round. It was a matchup thing where, we just don't match up well with them. It feels like and seems like when you watch them play, and you look at the stats and you look at the wins and losses, particularly against teams with a big physical perimeter base, at least one of those type of dudes, it causes the Grizzlies problems. The Suns don't have that. The Suns didn't have that last night. So, as expected, Grizzlies went out there, balled out of control, played really, really well. Well, now this Clippers matchup, they do have some of that, particularly if Kawhi Leonard is going to be playing. So, let's see if they can start riding the ship ahead of a hopefully deep playoff push, because eventually you're going to play one of those teams. You just can't avoid playing a Thunder team or a Rockets team or potentially a Nuggets team or a Lakers team, right? Like those four teams in particular with bigger, stronger perimeter players, you're going to have to play at least one of those in the playoffs. You got to be able to figure out what you need to do on the perimeter to be able to match that physicality.
Okay. Would love to play a team like the Suns. I don't know if the Suns are going to get to the playoffs. Obviously, Bradley Beal's on the bench last night, but I'm serious. Outside of Kevin Durant, there's not a lot going. And Bol, who I saw Mike Budenholzer after the game, was asked about what he's going to do with Bol moving forward. He said something along the lines of, we're going to be aggressive and keep him in there and run with him wherever we can. Going to push the envelope, I think is the words that he used. I was like, okay, push the envelope starting Bol. Congrats. He's better than Nick Richards. He got a lot bigger problems than that. I did hate Tyus Jones got cooked last night.
What?
Many a times. Many a times.
He's a tremendous passer, tremendous runner of the offense.
Defense was never
at times
the highlight.
because of the size. I think the want to is there, but just because of the size, right? You're going to be able to, if you're physical and you're bigger than him and everybody is bigger than him, you're going to be able to get what you want when you want it. Bol hadn't been good since he came in the league, right? Like everybody's been fawning over him and talking about, hey, if he puts it all together, he gets mentally there all the way. Look out, he could be. I'm not interested in them having Bol. May as well sign me. Like, what are you talking about? It was
just like a fun little novelty for the night. Would have been less fun if the Grizzlies had lost.
Was he out of the league? Where has Bol been? Nuggets traded him for Gordon.
Let's go on the journey
to the Magic. He was in Orlando and was like, "Holy cow! Can you
so much
imagine
links on the Magic?
How much they still have Link?" But it was like, "Oh my gosh,
so much that they didn't even need to."
And they were like, "Nah, we can't rock with Bol like that. We got to move on." And then after the Magic thing, I kind of fell out of touch with Bol.
On July 7th, 2022,
he
re-signed with the Magic. He had a career-high 26 points and 12 rebounds and 3 blocks in a loss to the Timberwolves on November 16th, 2022.
All right.
And then on July 4th, 2023, he was waived by the Magic.
Okay.
Signed with the Suns on a 1-year deal in 2023. Recorded his best game of the season with 11 points.
Turn up.
In January 2024.
All right.
Re-signed with the Suns this past offseason.
Okay. So he got cut by the Magic and been with the Suns,
been with the Suns
on 1 year. Okay, cool.
2 separate 1 years, yes.
Yeah, cool.
And then he was on the South Sudan national team. I forgot about that as well.
Oh, they did something that was fun.
They won a game.
Yeah, didn't they? Or did they keep
were
it
fun
close?
to cheer for.
That's what it was. They almost beat Team
that
USA.
wasn't fun. But then we were able to say, similar to last night, that was a fun story. But I'm glad that they didn't find a way to win. No, I think you nailed it with the Grizzlies. Beat a team that they were supposed to beat. I thought Ja Morant down the stretch was good. It's not like he had the flashiest game of his career, but he was getting to his spots early. He looked confident, both from a scoring standpoint, taking some of those more like middies and floaters, and then also as a passer early and engaging in the offense. And there were a couple times, not just from him, from the whole team, CJ, the arms were up. I was like, put him down.
They got to stop.
Put him down.
Like that's...
Put him down. But I didn't think that the frustration of the officiating took over in a way that allowed that game to unfold for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, because the Suns aren't physical, right?
Exactly.
And so the Suns' whole thing, physical teams feed off of that. They see the arms go up and it's like, oh,
it's a bait.
They're looking for help and help's not coming. Mm-hmm. Let's keep doing it. Let's keep needling them. Let's keep pushing them around. The refs aren't going to call it. They're not going to do anything to stop it. They're not going to stand up to us. They're not going to get strong back with us. So we're good to go. They feed off of that. The Knicks feed on that.
Yeah. And John did get calls last night. Not perfectly, but he got to the free throw line 12 times and was 10 of 12 at the line.
Listen, that's all well and good against the Suns. Glad they got a win, but I don't think anybody in the fan base is particularly interested or excited about a win over the Suns. They are interested in
you wanted
those
to
physical...
right the ship, and you wanted a vibe ship. You couldn't risk going into the All-Star break on a 3-game losing streak.
And whenever they've had moments of adversity this season,
they've popped back.
To their credit, the ship gets righted. So we saw the Rockets lose a pretty big game to as big as a regular season game could be on a scale of 1 to 10. It was like a 7.5, 8. They lose that game to the Grizzlies here, and then they proceed to go on, a 6-game losing streak after that? Like, this Grizzlies team hasn't done that this season where, okay, they've lost a game that is kind of important for a regular season game, and then they follow it up by continuing to lose. It is, they lose this important game, and they might lose the game after that, but boom, ship gets righted, and they start looking like they're good again. That's why they're second best team in the West right now from a record standpoint. There's something to be said about having the mental fortitude to say, okay, we faced supreme disappointment this game, but let's go out there and get it the next time, right? Like that, there's something to be said there. So give them credit for that. But again, more physical teams, especially on the perimeter, you got to find a way to either match up better with them or scheme them out of that physicality or, hell, match the physicality.
And they were also I don't want to say they were allowing the Suns to take threes because the Suns weren't making threes for a good portion of the game. Suns ended up 12 of 44 from deep. Grizzlies were 12 of 39. There were a lot of open threes. Will say, liked the lineup that they closed with. We talked about it in the Thunder game. It was the lineup between the third and the fourth quarter with Ja, Dez, Vince, Santi, and Jaren. I think, from my perspective, interchangeable if you put Brandon, and he had a nice game coming off the bench, so either Santi or Brandon, but they have something there. And I do think perhaps we'll see a change with the starting lineup. Jalen Wells was good out the gate. Then he got into foul trouble, and so how much that impacted him playing 19 minutes last night. Who do you trust taking a 3 more at this point? Jalen Wells, the rookie, or Vince Williams Jr.? I found myself asking that.
Wells, because I've seen him take and make more recently than Vince.
It's a recency bias thing, right?
It's 1,000% a recency bias. I think Vince is capable. I'd like to see him, as good as Vince Williams played last year in that debacle of a season, unfortunately, because of injuries. I'd like to see him take and make threes under pressure. I've seen Jalen Wells do that this year. Last year, the threes that were made, the shots that were taken, everything that was done, hell, no pressure there. The Grizzlies were bad last year. Again, injuries were the reason why, but they were. I want to see him do that this year in games that matter in the regular season. But yeah, it will be Jalen Wells. And as long as Santi isn't just going to completely get burnt on defense, I think that's your closing lineup. As long as Santi stays dialed in and isn't having mental lapses on the defensive side of the ball,
But again, that's where the physicality comes. He
that's your best
flourishes more in a matchup like last night. That 11-point stretch early on.
He was
like,
he could just lower his shoulder and get by dudes, and nobody was going to like hip check him or try and ride him out or try and bump him as he went up.
Are the Suns ever going to stop someone from cutting to the basket?
No.
no. This isn't how
hey,
they operate.
You know who else that benefit? Jalen Wells also, like, that's the one on the perimeter that benefits the most from not having big old fit, because he just doesn't have that grown man strength yet.
And Booker's not that.
No. We seen Jalen Wells be phenomenal against those types of players. Your Bookers, your Maxis. Hell, I think he was really, really good against Anthony Edwards, or has been good against Anthony Edwards as well. It's something else to have to do that against somebody who's just gonna old man you like Luka.
All right, we got to take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit more about the game last night, plus a look ahead at All-Star Weekend. Found out the names of the All-Star teams. Jaren Jackson Jr., of course, will be on one of those. You cannot tell me that the organization of the 3 All-Star teams was not decided before they drafted their teams. We'll get into that, plus the action from Unrivaled, the one-on-one thing. Fantastic. Those games continued last night. We'll get into all that when we come back.
How about them Tigers? Go.
Beat Tulane in a game that nobody called. Nobody thought was going to happen. They were a 2-touchdown underdog, and they got the win.
Number 25 in the AP right now, number 24 in the coaches poll right now. So this is a Tigers football team that's going to end the regular season ranked in both major polls, possibly ranked in the CFP as well, with 10 wins. That's a damn good season.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Durant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans, and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing in FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals takes it straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Anticipate each challenge. Make a quick response. Capitalize on every opportunity. And win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
It's your turn to drive into luxury at Southland Casino Hotel. Join us on Saturdays to win your share of up to $1 million in free play and prizes. And don't miss the chance to take home luxury itself during the grand finale drawings. Drive off in a 2025 Land Rover on February 1st or a 2025 Range Rover on March 1st. 2 vehicles, 2 finales, 1 million ways to enjoy luxury only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 or up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Are you aware of the story of Larry Brown and John Calipari coming to see you at an AAU tournament?
I knew Coach Calipari was in the crowd. I had this incredible game. I had maybe 17 dunks in the first half or something. One of my guys was like, "Yeah, I think Coach Calipari was speaking with one of the NBA scouts, and they're saying, yeah, you're not going to go to college, bro. You're going straight to the league." I was like, "That's the plan, but if I don't, I definitely want to go to Memphis," and that's how I went down.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Oh, Shout out to Luke. Brought me a coffee. It's a real one.
Thanks, Luke.
CJ would never.
Oh, no. Luke, where's mine? Where's my delightful dish of some sort?
Your delightful dish?
Of something.
You don't drink coffee.
I don't, but like, I'm sure they got something over there for me.
I've been on Paris, France TikTok lately.
Oh, God.
And I keep getting best hot chocolates in Paris, France.
Oh,
and I'm just telling
interested.
you.
I'm interested.
They look
I love hot chocolate.
So good. Primarily, they're like, this is the thickest, darkest chocolate that you'll ever have. And then they take this giant, the second I said it, I was like, here we go. Then they take this cream, like a chantilly cream, and they just plop it in, and it looks delightful. Maybe I could find a great hot chocolate on my way.
Hot chocolate with cream plopped in.
And Robbie Weaver coming up with where to eat in Murfreesboro, because I know the people also want to know where you stop on your drive from Memphis to Chattanooga.
At a McDonald's is where you
said
stop.
Marina's on the Square. Favorite place. Sold. I trust him. Trust him with my life. The last time I was in Murfreesboro for the high school state basketball tournament, you want to know where I ate? At a Pizza Hut. It was my first time being in a Pizza Hut since like my childhood, where I have really great nostalgia feelings of Pizza Hut because of the dim lights and the little lamps.
Do they still have it open?
It was not. It was like the old building, but it was refurbished. If I remember correctly, it was refurbished on the inside.
You could order the pizza, sit down in there and eat
Yes.
it? Did they have the buffet?
Yes.
You got to. That's where you go.
It was
see
so
if that
great.
See if that place is open and
That was
eat you a
like
Pizza
8
Hut
years
buffet.
ago at this point.
Surely it's Murfreesboro, Jessica. They're stuck in another time.
I
I'm
hope
telling
so.
you, it might still be open. That's where you go to eat. The
Now I
Pizza
have
Hut
an
buffet.
actual recommendation.
F that recommendation. Eat at the Pizza Hut buffet.
TBD. TBD. Did you listen to the broadcast last night, or did you just watch?
I watched broadcast was on low.
Did
but
you
I
hear
heard
them call
something.
Santi Santi over and over again?
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
I was like, what's wrong with you guys?
That happens sometimes.
Yeah, but
They're
it's
not that-
disrespectful.
they're not the
It
only
is
broadcast
disrespectful
crew to do that.
the number 2 team in the West at this point. Santi Aldama has
we
been in the
playing
league
that?
how many years?
How many years has he been this? How many years
I
has
don't
he
care.
been relevant?
Learn the pronunciation, guys.
Listen, I understand that is part
Someone
of your
gave
job.
them the note at some point.
Yeah, it's
because
part of your
it
job.
changed.
Like, fix it. But
It
like,
bugged me. The halftime show where Shaq put, I'm sure you missed the halftime show because you weren't watching live.
I did watch it live.
Oh.
And I missed the halftime show because
You don't watch
I
halftime
just don't
shows.
watch
That's
it.
what I figured. Well, they talked a lot about Bol and Kevin Durant, and I was like, are you ever going to talk about the Grizzlies? And then Shaq was taking a bowl for a bowl, and he mixed Cheetos, chips, Cheerios, milk, and Pepsi. And then he tried to pretend like he was eating it, but they clearly replaced the bowl with just a bowl of Cheerios and milk during it. I was like, what are we doing? Again, the Grizzlies are the number 2 team in the West.
Hey, you got to be interesting. You got to be entertaining.
It was nice. I did like that Ja gave the ball to Kevin Durant. And people make so much of those kind of things. Like the comments were flooded with like, that's a mature move from Ja Morant. I'm like, no, it's just a respect game moment from Ja Morant, making sure that Kevin Durant gets the ball. But I love how KD like starts to walk away and he's like, no, take it. Take it. This is yours. This is history. You are one of 8 players to reach the 30,000 mark. One other note from the game, Ja's shoes, best version of the Ja 1, Ja 2 that I have ever seen. It's the Swarovski crystals, and the specific one last night, I think it's the Ja 2 LX Midnight Swarovski crystals. There's some like scratch ones too, but these seemed full crystals. Rob Fisher posted pictures before the game, and then I went and tried to find the exact sneaker that Ja was wearing last night. I think it's this one. Those are so nice. Those are probably...
You gonna get a pair?
I don't think I can afford those.
Okay.
Are
'Cause
you?
You're too busy eating at fancy restaurants in Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
Save the Murfreesboro fancy restaurant money, buy the Jaws, and eat at a Pizza Hut buffet.
That I'm very strict. I don't wear black sneakers because
Yes.
I feel like they make my legs look short and stumpy.
We've had that
But I would
combo.
change my mind for those. But if they did those in white, I might
You
Those
just
could be
like
like a wedding
you like the
shoe.
jewels. You like the
Yeah.
the
These are
bejeweled nature.
Swarovski. These are like my birthday present.
Wait, is that what that's called?
Yeah.
Okay.
Swarovski.
Okay.
I'm not gonna like sit here and fake that I've been pronouncing it right my whole life. We went into a Swarovski store when we were in New York for Christmas, and we were trying to find a bathroom. I don't know if you've ever gone into like a nice store to try to find a bathroom in the cold, but that was the one we chose. I've been calling it Swarovski my whole life because there's a V in it, but it's not. It's Swarovski.
I didn't know those things had a name. I didn't know there was a whole
the
store
crystals?
dedicated to it. Yeah, no. I had
Yeah,
no
they
clue.
make jewelry. They make little figurines.
I've seen them, but
They make
I just thought that was
shoes.
just a thing that people just threw on, like bedazzled.
That's like a specific kind. Like when I used to
Okay.
get my phone bedazzled at the mall, like those
That's
weren't
not-
Swarovski
Oh,
crystals.
okay, see, now
those
I'm
were
confused.
like Park Meadows Mall crystals that fell off, and I regularly had to get them redone. Did girls? You didn't go to a girls'
Didn't
school.
go to a school with girls.
Did girls in your life get their phones bedazzled?
I don't know. No,
That was such a thing.
I didn't pay attention to them. They weren't in my life, Jessica. What do you want me to do?
Just because they weren't in your life doesn't
I
mean
did-
you
I
don't
did-
pay attention
I
to
didn't
the
hang-
women.
I
next
didn't
thing
hang
you're
out
gonna
with 'em.
next thing you're gonna tell me is you didn't watch one moment of the Unrivaled
Jessica,
1v1 competition.
Don't make me say that out loud.
I didn't either.
Okay.
I watched the highlights and I was bummed that I missed it. It was on before the game last night. I am going to try to emphasize the 1v1 semifinals are set and the finals are the same night. It's on Valentine's Day, so coming up Friday, February 14th. And the semis are going to be Aaliyah Edwards and Arike Agumbawale and Zara Stevens and Nafisa Collier. But the standout result of the 1v1, and for people who don't know, Unrivaled is the 3-on-3 league that's going on in Miami, giving WNBA players, professional women's basketball players, something else to do this offseason that pays them well. It's been a really cool experience where they don't have to go overseas, because in the past, they always have to go overseas to make more money. This puts something at home. It's been a hit, and people who have attended it have said it's awesome. But a part of it is this 1v1 tournament, and the standout result of the 1v1 tournament was Aaliyah Edwards beat Brianna Stewart 12-0. She swept her. She shut her out. Two former UConn greats. The match ended in 1 minute and 57 seconds. Like, I could technically show you the entire match almost. These are just the highlights. 1 minute and 57 seconds. You don't even put up a sweat in 1 minute and 57 seconds. Nope. He's right over it. Right over it. Aaliyah Edwards put in the absolute work. I think this is so fun. I desperately want the NBA to do this. The NBA will never do this. There is no universe where the men decide to go one-on-one. It could save All-Star Weekend. I'm convinced.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to watch it?
No, but yeah.
Why?
Why do I care about what you do one-on-one?
It'd be so fun.
I agree with you. People would find it fun.
I would
Absolutely.
find it fun.
They
I wanna
should
watch-
do it. They should do
I
it.
mean, like locally, I'd
But-
love to watch Giannis and Jaren, but everyone else would probably want to watch like Giannis and Wemby.
But like you absolutely want to see these dudes go at it one-on-one, but there's so much ego and pride.
That's the problem.
Right?
You men are so emotional.
You hear easy.
Sorry,
Easy.
not in this America. Don't turn me in.
I will throw you into the Gulf of America. You keep that shit up.
Oh, you red, white, and blue land.
What a ridiculous name.
I tried to write a highlight like that, and I just couldn't make it
'Cause
work.
it doesn't
this
make
morning.
sense.
It
It's so
doesn't. It makes
it's
no
so
sense.
ridiculous.
It makes no sense.
It's
I was
so
like,
ridiculous.
oh, this isn't Phoenix. It's red, white, and jolly. No, that's terrible. What a stupid thing to say.
No, but like you hear stories from players talking about playing, because they do it. They play one-on-one. You hear them talking about playing one-on-one.
But they're not gonna make a spectacle of
and
it.
how they wait for everybody to leave so they can play. Michael Beasley, that's my man's name, one who was in Miami for a while out of Kansas State. He's like, I would play LeBron, but we wouldn't. They would wait till media members left. So nobody would see, because I would beat LeBron, and LeBron didn't want people seeing him get beat.
Remember, they'd say it happened every time.
Yeah, every single time. Like one-on-one is fun.
Yeah.
Because it's me versus you, mano y mano. There's no help defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to pass the ball, give it up. It allows me to be creative with my dribble. Kyrie Irving, from what I've heard, is tremendous
Kyrie
at
versus
one-on-one.
Ja one-on-one.
Like, it's tremendous at it. So yeah, there's that component of it, but basketball is about more than one-on-one, because you
Of
get
course.
by one guy, got the help coming through. So like, there's that component of it. But for an all-star event, an all-star weekend needs a bit of life injected into it. One-on-one. would absolutely help to revitalize that.
We'd end up
weekend.
with Mac McClung in another something. No disrespect to Mac McClung.
Well, some, because he's not good enough to be an All-Star weekend. He's not good enough to be he's not good enough to be one of the names you remember from an All-Star weekend. But he's in that damn dunk contest every year.
At the very least, make it like Yuki versus someone.
You in the dunk contest?
No, in the one-on-one.
I mean, that would be fun.
That'd be really fun. Yuki versus Bronny.
I'd watch that.
Yuki versus Bronny in the 1v1.
I'd watch the hell out of that.
Who wouldn't?
I'd watch that.
Can you imagine if Yuki Kawamura beat Bronny? And I can't imagine it.
Yeah.
It could easily happen.
Yes, he should beat
2
Bronny.
G League players.
He should beat Bronny.
2 two-way. Well, Bronny's not on a two-way.
He should
a
beat
two-way
Bronny.
guy. And Bronny James going up on All-Star Weekend.
Yuki is an Olympian.
Yeah.
Yuki almost won them that game against France in Paris.
Home country.
Bronny was the 4th or 5th best player on his high school team. Like, come on, man. Let's get it going. But yeah, no.
It'd be incredible. Yeah. They did announce the names of the teams for All-Star Weekend, and I find this funny because they drafted the All-Stars between Chuck, Kenny, and Shaq. They drafted in quotations because they so easily fit into the categories of Chuck's global stars, Kenny's young stars, and Shaq's OGs. And then you have Candace's rising stars, which is the 4-team mini tournament. Jalen Wells and Zach Edey, I don't think we've mentioned it on this show. They're actually on the same team with that. They're on a team with like Stephon Castle, Trace Jackson Davis, Keontae George. They're on a good, of those young rising stars teams, the Jalen Wells, Zach Edey team, I think has a legitimate chance to be the team that comes out and represents the Rising Stars in the mix of things. But Jaren Jackson Jr. is obviously on the Young Stars, along with Anthony Edwards. We won't talk about Anthony Edwards today. Jalen Brunson, Jalen Williams, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham, and Tyler Hero. I don't know why they pretended to do a draft. I don't understand. Like, why pretend? I get it, it's a TV show, but obviously they knew what these teams were before they even got into it. Will you be, this is my last show before the All-Star break.
No.
You're not going to watch?
No. Listen, man, I understand
I will have
what
it
this
on.
is. For what? You're not going to
I
find
want to see Jaren.
Okay, well, cool.
And I want to see Zach Edey and Jalen Wells.
Cool. I don't find anything about All-Star Weekend in anybody's sport remotely
I'm not going to
entertaining.
carve out, like, I'm not going to make sure I'm seated for it. You know, it's kind of like a peripheral thing. I'll pop it up on my phone.
The good stuff will come up on my
On
timeline. If I'm so inclined to stop what I'm scrolling through. I look at a lot of delicious food items, Jessica. I don't know if you know this. I look at a lot of delicious food. If something comes up on my timeline that makes me stop for a minute, I might click on it. I probably won't, right? And I'm not complaining about it.
Yeah.
It's not for me. It's not. All-Star weekends at this point and at every
Who
point.
is it?
Children.
I don't think even the children.
You don't think that? Well, if the children aren't into it, then that's
Which is
your
why
problem.
we need Yuki versus Bronny next
Would the
year.
children be
Make
into
it
that?
happen.
Like-
I think the adults would be into that. Japan would be into it.
Japan would be into it.
You want ratings? Doesn't have to be here.
Who do the children like? They like LaMelo.
They like Jaw.
They like Anthony Edwards.
They like Ant.
Yeah, you got to get those people involved in this thing in some sort of
Wemby.
a way. Do they like Wemby?
I mean,
do they?
I don't know. I still don't think that the NBA is marketing Wemby in the appropriate way, but that's a longer conversation for another day.
Oh.
So no, I don't think kids yet are like, ooh, But it's also because they don't see themselves in Wemby. Like how many little alien kids are running around, you know?
How many tall, gangly, 6'9" 9-year-olds are out there in the world? Not many. I got you.
6'9".
Can you imagine walking into a third grade class?
No.
And there's little Wemby, 6'7", with an 8-foot wingspan. Yeah, no, you got to find a way for it to matter to the young fans. You got to hook them. Like everybody should be, and everybody is, marketing their product to children. Because once they get you hooked as a child, you roll with them all your life.
Right.
And so, like the NBA All-Star Weekend is that type of an event. And I'm not a child no more. NBA's got me. I'm going to watch no matter what. So I don't need to.
Anthony
to
Edwards
see
is
them.
23.
Yeah.
Google it. Figure out why he's trending today. We got to
Send
take
the
a quick
video?
break. It's more than send the video. It's send the video part 2. Send the video remix.
I love just how it was like 3 words.
Careful.
It was 3 words. Get the, and that was it, followed by a bunch of laughy faces. Like, it's good stuff, Ant.
The worst part of those text exchanges, if you go and look, and again, don't send the video. Click the Google. Go look why Anthony Edwards is trending this morning thanks to an article that came out. She's like, Anthony, do you hate me? I'm like, what a lame thing to text this fan. Like, no. And be stronger.
And what was
some fortitude.
What was his response after, do you hate me?
Well, I think he was supposed to, I think he tried to say yes, but he accidentally said he's. And then he said, because you're bringing a child in the world that's going to be without a father.
Lee, Anthony.
All right, we got to get to DeAngelo Williams. We never know what we'll chat with DeAngelo about. We'll find out after a quick break.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping. It's gonna be crazy. The fans are gonna be loud. We need just energy.
We're gonna need, the Forum rocking. We're gonna need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support.
When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bain 3, yes sir! Desmond Bain with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
Memphis Cat is back with his Heaven on Earth tour.
I tried to be incognito, but thanks to Shannon Sharp's loud mouth, the gig is up.
February 22nd in the FedEx Forum.
In my spare time, I infiltrate the Illuminati. Look for their secrets. Run back. Tell y'all.
Don't miss this year's most talked about comedy icon live. He's back with brand new material, an unmatched wit, and an electrifying performance. Get tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance, to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Is Hulkamania officially dead?
Yes.
When you have over 17,000 people live and you have Netflix premiere the biggest day in WWE history, and meanwhile they boo him out of the building?
Hulk Hogan, I'm coming for you!
That is your core audience, and they don't want it.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
This team is doing everything that Taylor Jenkins and his coaching staff envisioned it could do.
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Good job, Jacob.
Welcome back. It's Wednesday. That means it's time to catch up with one of our favorites, DeAngelo Williams. DeAngelo, what's up? How's it going?
Cause CJ is normally my guy for everything and all things unnatural or symbolic. I want to ask you, CJ, what did you think of the halftime show from the Super Bowl? Now, hold on, because there's two reactions. and I want to make sure that we get both reactions. Your reactions when you saw it live versus having time to think about it and digest everything. So what is your first reaction when you're seeing it live, like during the game?
This is fine. My first reaction is, this is fine. And then the second reaction is, hey, I hadn't thought about it. I'm not thinking about that. I'm not finna sit up here and try and do a dissertation on the Super Bowl of my own free. Like it's my job. I will do it. We did it right after the Super Bowl on HBC Huddle this week. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it right here as well. But like naturally, like those videos come up, those posts come up on my timeline. Like, oh, did you catch this message? Whatever. I don't want to catch it. I didn't want to think. I don't want to think on Super Bowl Sunday. Super Bowl Sunday is mind-numbing consumption at its highest and rawest, most potent form. I don't want to be thinking about societal ills and what the messaging is around a performance. The only thing I want to think about is how the hell the Eagles dominated that damn game. That's it.
Man, I'm going to tell you something. I thought the halftime show was much like the game. It was choose a side, and whatever sides you choose, you're either going to win or you're going to lose. If you're watching the game and you have no idea that there's a beef going on between two rappers, that halftime show was pointless, and it was meh at best.
But now, I'll push back on that.
I disagree.
Because I think we focus so much on this Drake-Kendrick beef that you're missing, and we've missed the larger point of a lot of things that are happening, right? So here's an example. Serena Williams comes out and starts sea-walking. And immediately the thought is, oh, it's Drake's ex dancing on his grave. Like, that's the thought, that's the tweets, that's the social media reaction. That's what everybody's coming in talking about, kiki and cackling about the next day. But for me, I was like, yo, I'm old enough to remember when she did that at Wimbledon. Mm-hmm. I remember her doing that at Wimbledon, and I remember what the discourse was around her doing that at Wimbledon. So, like, that had nothing to do with the Kendrick-Drake beef or whatever Serena Williams said or Drake said to make Serena and or her husband mad. And in that moment, because now we're dissecting it, DeAngelo, where I didn't want to be. Samuel L. Jackson. You did it, you jerk. Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam telling Kendrick to play the game the right way. Don't be loud. Don't be ghetto. Don't be too black. As Serena Williams is dancing behind in the background when Serena inhabited an all-white space at the highest of high levels, and those were the things that she was being told, only for Serena to go on, and she was at the time, and she went on to become the greatest tennis player we've ever seen. Like, I thought that was a fine moment.
And
right?
then you add the layer of Drake essentially having, like, low-key stalked her current husband and calling out her husband, and then her husband's response to that. And so then there's the pop culture element. Like, I have friends who knew the Serena Drake Kendrick, or who knew the Serena Drake beef and didn't know the Kendrick Drake beef, and then they're catching up on that. It was such a layered performance. Like, the thing that I've come to, DeAngelo, is that for me, like, I love that stuff. I almost said the other word, but I really enjoy something that you pull back layer after layer after layer, and you just keep finding something else. I will be 100% honest. As I was driving into work this morning, I got sucked into like a 5-minute video of the dissertation of 40 Acres and a Mule and how that relates to the Homestead Act. And then I was down a rabbit hole of the falsified promise of 40 Acres and a Mule versus what white people got in the Homestead Act. And next thing I know, I was like, wow, that even took it another level deeper. Most people don't want to do that. But for me, it makes the performance itself was like a 10 out of 10. For me, the performance, like if you put it anywhere, it's so interesting and something that here days later, like I'm still enjoying discovering new pieces of it. But from the context of a halftime show, I am willing to sit here and say it was like a 7.5 out of 10 from an entertaining, because I still think it was an entertaining show without having to do the excessive layering. But I also don't think as many people as I expected to know Kendrick's catalog. Like that was my biggest realization. Is I think most people know like 3 Kendrick songs. Not most people, but a good number of people know fewer Kendrick songs than I thought.
I think you're right. Most people.
Okay.
I don't watch halftime shows for the music. I watch halftime shows for the entertainment. I want to be entertained. Okay, I don't give a damn about. There's been plenty of halftime shows where I looked up and I'm like, who the hell is this? And never heard the song, but have been entertained by the clothing change, by the stage presence, by all the things that are going on.
An example for me, DeAngelo, of what you're talking about, Madonna. I don't know Madonna songs. Madonna came out and did the Super Bowl. I was like, oh, stuff is happening. It's loud. It's bright.
Yes.
People are dancing. Look at that. That's LMFAO up on stage doing their one song that matters. Like, yo, I'm rocking with this.
But like, even if you don't want to take it to the depths of historical references and cultural references, like, can't you even look at it from the dancing was good, Kendrick has charisma, like he owns that stage. The part of him smiling and saying Cedric, like he had the audience in the palm of his hand for that moment. And then you also throw in like however you viewed the board as a PlayStation controller. I thought it was cool.
Am I not the audience?
You're one part of the audience.
That's what I'm saying. So if I'm not entertained, damn, I cannot say that.
No, I think
it didn't entertain me. I'm not speaking for the masses. I'm speaking for myself. I'm just saying that I was looking for at least one wardrobe change. I'm like, ooh, I wonder when the wardrobe change is gonna come, and it never came. I was like, ooh, I'm ready for the stage to evolve into something else, and it never gave me that. Like I was looking for something. Like I remember watching a halftime show, and I'm gonna bring this up. I remember watching Katy Perry jump off a damn building, and I have no idea. I had never heard a Katy Perry song.
Wasn't it Lady Gaga who jumped off the building?
Was at the time.
Katy Perry came out on the like fire-breathing lion or tiger. That's what Katy.
Lady Gaga did the.
Might have jumped.
So Lady Gaga was the one that jumped out, right? Like, but even watching both of those, like I was like, oh, dude, this is crazy. They went all out. Had no idea what the hell they were saying. Had no idea what the hell they were doing. But I was entertained, and I was like, that was enjoyable. And everybody complained about song choice and all that other stuff. And I'm like, bro, she just jumped off a damn building. She just rode in on a fire-breathing dragon.
DeAngelo, you and I are on the same side, where the Super Bowl halftime show is just raw entertainment. Like we want raw entertainment. You don't mind, like you enjoy the thinking component of, like, because you liked Rihanna's performance.
Well, I just like, I like Rihanna's performance because I like Rihanna's songs. Rihanna could have stood on a stage, which she did.
She did. She just stood on the stage.
She could have stayed on an elevated stage.
That's all
and so
she
I'm
did.
going to enjoy that. My thing, like, bottom line is, I'll like pretty much any music performance because I enjoy that art form, right? But like, where is Kendrick gonna do Kendrick as an artist is not a wardrobe changing artist. He brought out SZA. He had a guest. He does the songs with her.
That's not our fault. That's the Super Bowl's fault for
sure.
putting him
and
in
you can make that
power
argument
to do that. That's all I'm saying. What I'm saying. I think one of the worst Super Bowl halftime shows was Shakira and
Jennifer Lopez.
You watched Shakira move.
I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why it was one of the worst shows is because when they got on that pole and they were stripping, my wife
They were not
was like,
stripping.
Well, just hear me out. My wife was like, we have our daughters watching this, and they was like, ooh, what are they doing? And I'll never forget. I look up and my daughter was trying to mimic the dances of what they was doing. And I was like, if you don't get your ass off that pole, like, so I'm like, whoa, because they don't understand the context of what's going on. They're just trying to mimic what they just saw. And I was like, look, that's something different. And so because it hit the way it hit, I couldn't even enjoy the Super Bowl halftime show for what it was, because I now have to worry about, like, no, this is not, that's not the same.
You sound a lot like the people who were devastated when Justin Timberlake ripped off Janet Jackson's
That was
shirt.
one of the greatest. That was one of the greatest.
It was entertaining.
Was it? I will say, as the only woman in this conversation, When I was a young child, I probably also would have watched the Shakira J-Lo performance and suddenly tried to climb on poles because they make it look so effortless and cool and like powerful. If it's not the Super Bowl halftime show, it's gonna be something else. Like I wanted to be Esmeralda from Hunchback of Notre Dame. Like I wanted to go around in my little belly shirt and like live that street life in Paris. I wanted to be Britney Spears I used to take like hair kerchiefs and tie them around as a shirt with nothing in the, like, girls are gonna find a way to emulate sexuality, whether you like it or not, and like find themselves through that. So that was a great Super Bowl halftime show. What's the difference between them? Just because it's a poll, is that where the line was drawn?
Well, the line was drawn when my daughter tried to mimic what it was that they were doing, and
It's exercise.
Me trying to explain to her that. She was like, what? They just did it and it was cool? And I'm like, nah, well, yeah and no. Like and then me having to translate that over to like everyday life, that's not good. Like, you know what
I can't remember when I first became aware of pole dancing, but I can remember being on a jungle gym as a kid, like at elementary school recess, and all of us were trying to like spin around the pole. So like, you're gonna find it somewhere.
Yeah,
like, it's a part of American culture. Yeah, and they were always like too big to actually. That sounds horrible, but like the poles on the jungle gym were never the appropriate size.
Like the width is a little too thick.
Girthy.
Yeah, it's girthy for little girls. It's girthy one.
Okay, that's a horrible sentence that you shouldn't
the pole
out of your
was
mouth.
too girthy for the little girls. One, two. There's no lubrication on the pole either, right? So you're
they're
just
like,
rubbing.
yeah, it's the worst.
You're getting like skin burn trying to do that.
Or on your hands, you're trying. Yeah.
Also, three. I think the poles spin on their own.
They don't. Some do. There's two different kinds.
Okay, all right.
There's a spinning, and like if you take a class, you take like a spinning pole class, or you take a stationary pole class.
Yeah.
There you
but
go.
I found it a very interesting Super Bowl. And then what's crazy is and I'm much like CJ. I don't want to, and you know, there's some movies where you watch the movie, like those thrillers, like let me think.
Basic Instinct.
Yeah, well, once you're done watching it, you're like, oh, that wasn't a bad movie. And then you go through like the internet and you're like, damn, I missed that. Like, oh, and like everybody's talking about all the symbolism and you're like, whoa, like I just thought, and then you're like, oh, it's not gonna make it any better.
You know what's crazy though, and it's always been this way, and so this isn't anything new, but I think one of the reasons I found the halftime show as refreshing and interesting and like in the moment appreciated it for what it was, not just going through it afterwards, but like the amount of propaganda that we see in sports, period, like everything about sports is political. And from the beginning, from the pregame show onward, you are getting just this onslaught of America and the NFL, and it's just, you can't escape it. And so then for Kendrick to come out and use that purpose, like we constantly are saying, we just want to be entertained, we just want to, but like, the subliminal, not even subliminal, it's pretty in your face, you're kind of thrown that throughout the entirety of a Super Bowl watching experience. So why does it have to stop at the halftime show? And again, like I think you're right. Like in order for it to be something else, it would have had to be someone other than Kendrick, because Kendrick wasn't going to not do what he wanted to do in that moment. Like he was not going to ever just come in, do his greatest hits and get out.
All I wanted was a couple wardrobe changes and like some stages evolving. I wanted to be wowed by like
the flare jeans didn't do it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I love Broadway plays, and the reason why I love Broadway plays, and I go watch plays all the time, is because the staging and the costumes. If you strip away, if you go to a Broadway play and you strip away the costumes,
you don't like
and
it.
You strip away the stage, I'm like, what the hell did I just watch? Like all the money I just
One of the greatest shows on Broadway right now stripped away all the costumes and all the set, and it's controversial. It's Jamie Lloyd's Sunset Boulevard, and it's like a minimalistic version.
I'll never go watch it,
but it's so good. But it's the best. Like Nicole Scherzinger's perform, and you want to know what it comes down to is when the performer is able to hold his or her own without any of the extras, and that's what Nicole Scherzinger does in that.
The reason why we watch movies, TV shows, and watch all these things that we watch is because they don't act like us. They don't necessarily behave like us on a day-to-day basis. So we watch them to escape from our normal life. So you mean to tell me that you want me to go in and watch what look like normal people do what it is that I think I could do anyway? But you strip away the costumes, that's all it is. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, we go by, we leave, we was like, oh man, you see how bright the colors were. Did you see how the stage evolved? Like, those are the things that captivate us and grab our attention. Now, the acting skills, they keep us. We can watch subpar acting if you got great costumes and great stage mechanics.
And I can watch no stage, no costumes if it's elite acting. You know what I mean?
You can just go down to Beale Street and watch that.
Stop trying to make us smarter is what this boils down to.
I don't want to make
Jessica.
anyone smarter.
Well, it sounds like you're trying to make
Boys
us
go
be
to
smarter.
Jupiter.
Yes, we
Get more
enjoy
stupider,
being
and
stupider.
girls go to Mars.
Like, come on, this is Super Bowl.
To
I'm
get
sitting
more
there.
candy
I've
bars.
got wing crumb or wing sauce and pizza crumbs and chip crumbs all over my person.
God, I wish I
had
could
a
just dive into the
fistful.
crumbs.
I had a fistful of gummy bears that I was just shoveling into my mouth by the handful. I don't want to be thinking about what the subversive
It's a
meaning
curse to think.
it is of the.
I want to free myself.
Of the red, white, and blue coming out of the car at first, initially representing gang violence, blue being the Crips, red being the blood, white being those who have fallen, and then how all of those things merge beautifully to make the American flag as Kendrick is standing there performing one of his greatest hits, Humble, where it is maybe quite possibly directed at us as Americans to be just a scooch more humble and appreciative of our place in the world as the red of the blood, the blue of the Crip, the white of those who have fallen, have formed to make this American flag that Kendrick knows and Kendrick's America, and in a version of America that exists not just in Compton or Chicago, in Memphis, right? This type of violence, like it needs to be put to an end. Gang violence needs to stop, and it's been something that's needed to stop for quite some time. And for him to do that at the Super Bowl, I can acknowledge, all right, that's kind of cool. But at the same time, say, like, yo, you got to entertain me, dog. Like, I need more. Where's your left shark at? Where's the left shark?
Okay, so you're saying he had made a cultural statement of black culture is America culture, but if there was a left shark, you would have enjoyed it more.
Give me a left shark, Jessica. You can make the
We've already done the left shark.
black-
What other animal could we have done?
Give me a right mole rat.
Ooh.
Here's the thing. CJ.
the farthest
I
right mole
understand
rat.
That's what, like, us looking at that, like watching that flag and realizing, okay, those are the Crips, those are the Bloods, those are the ones that have fallen. Hell, the Crips and the Bloods are not watching it and interpreting it like that. They're not gonna stop. So why don't you just be more concrete? So stop all the symbolism and just come out and just show it and say it, so you can reach the ones that you need to reach instead of the ones that already know that they need to be stopped. Because we understand the symbolism. We gon' and if we don't, we're gonna go look for it. They not looking for it. They ain't got time for that. They past the TV like, oh yeah, that's the homie. Like, oh, that's the flag. You know, they not going back to see what the symbolism is. They like, oh, he did a great thing, man. That's what I'm talking about. Let me go get my gun. I'm going back out here on the street. I gotta go finish doing what I gotta do. That's all I'm saying. Like, you reaching the ones that want to be there. We ain't the one out there doing it.
Should have came
Game
down.
over.
Should have came down, jumping off of buildings. Gave us a left shark moment. You remember
We
Diana?
had a million people coming out of that car. It was a magic trick.
The million people coming out of the car was like, oh, this is cool stuff
I'm sorry,
right here.
you don't
many people
enjoy
are
a
gonna come
clown
out?
car?
How many people gonna come out?
Like, I love when it's a car and suddenly 50 people come out of the car.
He should have left Diana Ross style, just helicopter lowers on the Super Bowl, in the Superdome. He's like, how does a helicopter get in the Superdome? Who cares? It's a Super Bowl. He jumps up, grabs on one arm, and the helicopter flies him off stage. Like, that's how it should have been.
Should have gone from Diana Ross giving him the Grammy on the
Wait, did she give him
previous
the
Sunday.
Grammy?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
And then somehow they like have like a little video montage. It's like, hey, you want to be cool? If we went to the Super Bowl, and then they came down and Diana Ross did a song.
Yeah.
Why not?
That would have been cool.
She performed at the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I can say when I saw Samuel L. Jackson, I was like, so my favorite movie of all time, and I watch it 100 times a year. It's Django Unchained. And his character in Django was the first character that popped into my mind. And I was like, oh, this is going to be great. And it never went anywhere kind of after that. So I had to go find what I was looking for. But when everybody was jumping out of the cars, though, we had a Super Bowl party, and we have a Super Bowl party every year. It was
When do we get invited?
They was like, dang, because you don't live here. They was like, dang, they jumping out of the car like bleep, and I was like, whoa, like I hope that they're not all like this is kind of rough because there's presidents that's in presence because they kept coming out of the car and they was like, dang, that's a lot of, and I was like, yeah, it's a lot of people getting out of that car.
A lot of what people?
No,
I just say it because like that's again not could have been a scooch more entertaining, but like that's the whole thing. That's why you said Samuel L. Jackson is out there and you've got to go. And you thought it was going to be more because you liked Django Unchained. You thought he was going to give you more, and he didn't. Yes. So you went to try and look and find that. But Samuel L. Jackson, DeAngelo, I feel like at a certain point, you've had to code switch. I feel like you've had to say, all right, look, I'm looking around. I'm the only one my color with my background. Let me dial that back a little bit. And Samuel L. Jackson literally says, hey, you're too loud. You're too boisterous, you're too black, right? Dial that back. I feel like that's something that even if you didn't want to look deeply into it, it would be something like, I see what's going on here now.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what happens with like, let me see how I can say this because I'm trying to say this in the most. So I've been told, and I have been told by a lot of African Americans that have a lot of money, that whenever you get money, it gives you access to certain privileges. And so it changed your way of thinking. So if you're broke or don't have money and something was to happen, then you automatically put it on a certain thing. But if you have money and something happens, you have a completely different thought process because you haven't experienced what those that don't have that privilege have. Whether it's getting pulled over by the police and then they treat you like crap and then they realize who you are and they're like, oh, or they know who you are right off and they don't give you the same treatment they would normally give somebody else. So it's not code switching. I think it's just the mindset that you have, because whenever I get pulled over, the first thing I do is I let all my windows down, I get my license and registration ready, and I keep both hands on the steering wheel. I don't give a damn about the rights that I think I have. I'm not finna argue with anybody because I know that I need to get back to where I need to get back to, because them pulling me over already got me running late. So it's kind of it's just the mindset, I think. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna be controversial when I have an issue. And looking at them, when I saw it, I go, oh man, Samuel Jackson took me back to that mindset. Then I go, oh, he's Uncle Sam. So I kind of picked up all those. I thought the PlayStation controller was Squid Games. So when I saw the Squid Games,
that's the layers, DeAngelo. You can take it as a PlayStation. You can take it as Squid Games.
Right. So when I thought it was Squid Game, I'm like, oh, we finna play red light, green light. Like I went to and then none of that happened. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm thinking like none of the stuff that I thought was gonna happen happened. So I'm just like, oh, he had so much potential there where he could have did some things. But then after surfing the web and looking at all these people break down the symbolism, I'm like, man, I hate that I had to do this. Like I hate, this is like playing a Scrabble game and you're not really sure if it's a word or not. And every time you play, you got to go through the book and make sure. And then you got to read the definition and like, oh yeah, well, use it in a sentence. And then you have to use it in a sentence. Like, I feel like you shouldn't have to do that. Like you shouldn't use words or play the game.
That's art. It's a prerogative. Some people love it. Some people don't like it. And that's always going to be how it goes. DeAngelo, we appreciate you as always. We'll catch up with you next week. Goodbye.
Okay. Bye.
My favorite part of the Scrabble game, we're figuring out the pieces because I have continued to watch like 8,000 videos on the Kendrick performance. Did you put together that the black women around him were almost like the muses, like it was his Greek chorus.
No.
And he was referring to the black women to ask like what he should do in regards to doing Not Like Us.
No.
Yeah, I didn't either. And then I went back and watched it.
I don't think that's an accurate representation.
And that's your take on it.
Yeah.
And then I watched someone who does a dissertation on why that is the take on it.
I'm not. I don't find your eyes are gleaming right now
because I enjoy doing things like this.
You do.
Yes, that's a personal thing.
I'm not.
Not everybody has to do it. Not everybody has to enjoy doing it.
Not trying to jump on you or criticize you or anything, but this is up your alley. Like
Yes.
literally things that get you out of bed in the morning
Yes.
are these types of things.
Yes.
Like I don't know it. I don't wish I could, but like I wouldn't mind if I found it interesting enough to do.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I read a bunch of books in high school. I did a bunch of damn theme papers about
a great book right
the
now.
the messaging behind Frankenstein's monster and all those types of things. Man, I can't do that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that Kendrick's performance wasn't a good one.
And not to say that's not important for some people to do it, and we must keep the Department of Education ongoing. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back and do story time, which is the opposite of the Department of Education. 59% of you said this one, trust CJ. How you watch this show every day and think that the appropriate response to voting on the story time of the week is, just trust me, it's a good one. We'll find out the story when we come back.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Durant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing in FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
A night of comedy with Sebastian Maniscalco and Jim Gaffigan.
Now, is this a family? Is this your mother? Where is she? Is she in the crowd? You don't know where your mom is. The mom's up there. What kind of family is this? I'm sorry.
Sebastian Maniscalco and Jim Gaffigan.
I went ziplining for the last time. What is wrong with us? Would you pay $200 to feel like you're about to die 6 times?
Live in Memphis, FedEx Forum, Friday, February 21st. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
I did a video and I thought it was pretty funny, and I said, well, I'm gonna post it on TikTok and see what it does. You know, we watched Alabama beat Miami. We had no idea that the video was blowing up the whole time we were beating Miami, or we would have kept doing it. Yeah. So I told Tide roll. The Tide, tell them, Willie. Tide roll, baby. That's what they do.
We always gonna get beat because you cannot mess with the Tide.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Just a reminder that Memphis is going to win this league, and Memphis should win this league probably every year. Memphis should be to the AAC as long as they're in this nightmare. You should be to the AAC what Gonzaga has been to the WCC. Except you don't even have a St. Mary's in here, if we're being honest. There ain't even a St. Mary's in here with you.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
This is another JBS production.
Twinkle, twinkle, rockabye. It's story time. Let's let it fly. The JB Show with CJ here to bring you tales that bring you cheer or fear or tears, whatever's here. Now hush, you babies, listen up. It's story time. Let's get turned up. Just trust CJ, he said. Damn right. There you go. Am I the a-hole for leaving my own birthday dinner because my girlfriend turned it into a proposal for herself?
Real quick. So she must have proposed to him at his birthday or her birthday.
That's how I would imagine.
Like that's okay. That's how I think it's going.
Something tells me there's a twist.
That's how I think it's going. Twist.
I, 28-year-old male, had my birthday dinner last weekend, and my girlfriend, Sarah, 27-year-old female, offered to plan it. I was excited because I usually keep things low-key, but she said she wanted to make it special. She booked a nice restaurant and invited close friends and family. Everything was going great until it was time for dessert. The waiter brought out a cake, but instead of my name, it said, "Will you marry me, Sarah?" I was completely blindsided.
Is his name Sarah?
I don't think so.
I
don't think so.
The cake had her name on it.
Will you marry me, Sarah?
But it's her name.
Right.
She made the cake.
Yeah, thank you. She didn't make the cake. The restaurant made the cake
she
with
ordered
her
it
name.
with the-
Yeah.
okay.
She put the instructions on the cake.
Okay.
I was completely blindsided. Sarah got all teary-eyed, turned to me and said, "Well, this is the best surprise ever, right?" Psychotic behavior.
You gotta leave her.
Everyone around us started clapping, and her friends were filming. I just sat there, stunned. She took my silence as hesitation and started going on about how she knew I wasn't big on grand gestures, but she couldn't wait anymore, so she took matters into her own hands. At that moment, I stood up and said, "This is my birthday! If you wanted a proposal, you should have talked to me about it first." Then I grabbed my stuff and walked out. Sarah was mortified, and her friends blew up my phone, calling me an asshole for embarrassing her and ruining the night. She even said I humiliated her when she was just trying to do something romantic. This girl gives girls a bad name. Now my family is split. What? Your family?
Like blood relatives?
Some say I should have just gone along with it for the night, while others think she crossed a major boundary. Oh, you think? So am I the a-hole for leaving my own birthday dinner because my girlfriend hijacked it for a proposal? No, you run away. You run as far as you need to go to get away from this absolute sociopath. Goodbye. Good riddance. Glad you learned before you eventually proposed, because that is the sign of the devil. That's nuts.
Respectfully, who the hell is friends with this broad?
Who?
Like, if that's your friend, at some point you hear that plan and say no.
No.
And when you find out at the restaurant.
Yeah, but she probably did it like Nico Harrison traded Luka Doncic, told no one.
Is this Nico's child?
Is this a metaphor?
So you're at the restaurant and she says the thing, "I know you're not into romantic gestures, so I took matters into my own hands." Do you question her about that? Because I wouldn't even question her. I'd be like, surely he put that on the cake.
Oh my God.
Surely he did that. Are you proposing to yourself at my birthday in front of people? And my family siding with you? Are you shitting me?
See, it's so funny because I'm such this would never be how it would go, because men are the ones who are supposed to propose for, patriarchal reasons.
It comes with
they
the burden.
get to decide.
We make about 30 cents on the dollar more than you
It
because
is a
of
burden.
that.
I
Yeah.
acknowledge the burden that you all carry throughout this life. Like, if the roles were reversed, I know myself, and I'm such a people pleaser. Like, it makes me ill to think this. I probably would have gone along with it until we got home and then been like, what the hell? We're breaking up. Consult my people. We're done. But he has every right to do it in that moment and walk out. Like, I want to be perfectly clear. Even if some people would have tried to wait and not make a scene. No, you make a scene. Like, I would hope that I would make a scene in that situation.
Got to make a scene for your safety.
That's nuts.
If the person is loopy enough to do that,
nuts behavior.
I wouldn't go home with that person. We'd only have minimum contact, and we'd only talk on the phone.
That's true.
That,
but that's why I'd be dumb. I'd go home with that
you
person,
can't.
and then I'd be like,
you can't go home. That's how Lifetime movies start or end, depending on whether you survive the night or not. Insane. That's why you trust CJ always.
That can't
as the
be
most
a
right
real
person, as the furthest right person on these here airways.
That's you.
I'm the one you should trust.
You also carry such a burden of being the furthest right person.
Hey, it's not easy.
on this show.
It's not easy. It's me and all my people in red, blue, Greenland. Or red, blue, whiteland. Or red, white, blueland. Blue, white, redland?
Red, white, blue land.
Okay. Yeah, it's all my people over there in the
I was
great
like,
Gulf of
that
America.
Can't be real.
What? The country or this story?
The idea that there's actual legislation proposed to rename it Red, White, and Blue Land. That's what. All right. Let's do
That's
WTF.
one WTF story.
Another WTF story. Have you seen the prices for Cowboy Carter tour?
No, what are they?
Oh my gosh.
Like, is it any more outlandish or outrageous than what the Usher tickets or the Adele tickets or hell Renaissance? What those were? Like the ticket prices, you know.
I don't know. They start at like $9.50 before fees. Like I think
you're on Ticketmaster though, right? You're on like a second.
That was on Ticketmaster.
Yeah,
yes.
that's what happens when things get.
But that was like the pre-sale. No, but that's the straight. Like you have to order from Ticketmaster to be a part of the pre-sale. I think.
Okay.
I didn't get in on the pre-sale. I'm at the point where I cannot justify spending. I would never. Actually, I think I could honestly say this. At least at this point in my life, I would never pay more than $400 for concert tickets for anyone. Like, I don't care if it's... I would love to go to the Cowboy Carter tour, but I cannot, in good conscience, spend that much money.
On tickets.
That's insane. How have we gotten here? They were showing on the Super Bowl night, like the average ticket price was in the thousands. They're like, wow, look at the growth of the Super Bowl. I'm like, ew. We are outpricing people, or where people are taking out a loan to go to the sporting events that they like, or the concerts that they like. There has to be, the bubble must burst.
One thing at a time, Jessica. Let's figure out eggs, and then we can worry about that. Because you're talking about Beyonce tickets. Like, eggs is about to be $800 a carton. Did you see that 100,000 eggs got stolen out of Pennsylvania?
No, I missed that.
Yes, and it's a felony because that's over like $40,000 worth of eggs. So now the feds are involved in this master egg heist. Yeah, it's real. Costco is limiting you to one purchase of eggs per day. Kroger, I think, might be limiting you to a couple dozen per day as well. Yeah.
I ate cold wings yesterday, and it wasn't you.
It
Someone
wasn't me.
else in the office said I was going to get bird flu.
Oh, no, I didn't say that. But you might.
It doesn't work that way.
I mean, listen, we've had some animal to human.
Everyone has flu A right now. My God. Flu A is
transfers.
all over the timeline.
Is it flu A or is it bird flu A? Open that third eye. Open it.
Let's open the third eye on a devastating death.
Who?
That has hit the pop culture sphere. The Duolingo Owl has died. Moment of silence.
Why am I being quiet for this dumbass bird? Don't you ever in your life shush me again.
He was a good bird.
How do you know?
How does it feel? How's it feel turning on the head, huh?
You gotta, Jessica. Wait, Jessica.
Moment of silence.
I still got 16 days. All right, you pull that shit next month during her story or whatever the hell.
I was on a podcast yesterday. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna release it in March because it's Women's Month." I know. I'm well familiar with her story. Thank you.
Are you counting down?
Yeah.
To when you matter for like 30 days? Because there's nothing like mattering for the 28 days that I matter.
Doesn't it feel good?
No, not really. Nothing has changed.
Did Google take out Black History Month?
What do you mean take it out?
I don't think so. Well, Google changed Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America, and then they took 2 holidays out too, but I forget what they were.
Oh, I'm unfamiliar with what Google does.
Okay.
I'm not paying them attention. Why did the Duolingo Owl die?
That's a great question. He had many enemies, and we're trying to figure out the mystery of who killed the Duolingo Owl.
You didn't even catch my joke.
Who?
Yeah, thank you.
That wasn't that funny.
Acknowledge.
It wasn't funny enough to be acknowledged.
Acknowledge the depth that I have right now, Jessica. The hidden messages in this show, I throw them all out there all the time. And you don't ever go back and listen to them and then compliment me on, hey, I liked your hidden message there. I liked your hidden joke.
It's February 12th, so I really liked that hidden message joke.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate finally you're acting accordingly this fine month.
I'm sorry that we have to talk about such a devastating loss.
No, but for real, why did this? Did you ever use Duolingo?
I fall asleep to my husband doing a Duolingo Spanish lesson every single night.
Did you ever use
Yes, I did
Duolingo?
actually. I did it to learn Italian, and the only thing I can say is mangia la mela, which means eat an apple. But I was crushing it when we were in Italy for our honeymoon. Mange la mela. And I tried to use it to brush up on my French, and I'm actually going to revert to that because we are going to France this fall, and I want to be able to impress Chris because he impressed the hell out of me speaking Spanish in Argentina, and I need to one-up him and be able to get us around in Francais.
Okay. They speak English in France.
They hate when you speak English in
Okay, well, they speak
France.
it. They learned it. They speak it.
Yeah, but they'll pretend
Speak
that they
American.
don't.
All right, well, stop being...
There's nothing worse than feeling shunned by the Parisians. They're so cool.
They better speak, damn it,
They're so
American
cool.
before we come over there and call that bald eagling apple pie.
We're going to rename the Eiffel Tower the Best Pro Tower.
Let's go.
Come on. Who
Let's
says
go.
no? Anyway, we don't know why the owl is dead. We just know that they announced yesterday, it was with heavy hearts, that they informed us that Duo, formerly known as the Duolingo Owl, is dead. And authorities are currently investigating his cause of death, and they are cooperating fully. We appreciate you respecting Dua Lipa's privacy at this time.
Dua Lipa?
Sometimes they make Dua Lipa jokes. It's the funniest account. It's the funniest brand account. Brand accounts have reached a point where sometimes it's just like,
Try
why?
hard.
Like there's this whole war between Poppy and Olipop right now.
Who?
Coming, the prebiotic sodas that have kind of taken over.
Nope.
You would know
But
it if
okay.
you saw it.
All right.
But there's two different brands, and Poppy going into the Super Bowl like sent influencers vending machines. Like they were like $25,000 reportedly vending machines, and then people were like, "Oh, we hate the flex of the rich." And then Olipop has been in the comments of everyone being like, "We're the cool soda. They're both going to be owned by big corporations in no time." Anyway, Duolingo stands out as a true and honest, funny brand account. Because what are they doing it for? Just to educate the masses on other languages, to help us go seek understanding elsewhere. Some people thought maybe Drake took him down. I'm just saying. The Duolingo Owl said, "Say Drake," and next thing you know, it's gone.
Took him out.
I don't know if he was shot. I just
OVO
assumed.
Owl.
Oh yeah,
Wait, yeah.
it's an OVO.
Yeah, owls are OVOs thing. But Duolingo existed before OVO.
And you don't need Duolingo to like Canadian as English. Well,
They speak
French
French
Canadian.
up there, Jessica.
They mostly
Stop
speak
being so
English.
narrow-minded to the 51st state. Gosh.
Can you imagine being Nico Harrison right now? He can't go anywhere.
I mean, he's got millions of dollars. He can go wherever the hell he wants.
Well, he chose to go to the SMU game last night.
He was there?
He chose to go to the SMU game last night.
Listen,
You want to know how it went?
Bad.
Take a listen. Also, I was trying to find the score of this game, and it hurt me that I went to the American Athletic Conference, and then my brain glitched, and I was like, what league does SMU play in? And it's the ACC. It's the ACC, and they beat Pitt by 20.
That made you feel bad. You're going into your, hey, you know what made me feel bad? Going to the American. I was like, yeah, no, dumbass. They're in the Big 12 now. Everybody knows that. Got no clue where these teams are anymore.
It's so true. Even like, it was the USC Ohio State game that was going on during the Grizzlies Thunder game.
Yeah.
And I was trying to find the score of it. I was like, where's the Pac-12? No, God. Big Ten, why are we playing Big Ten basketball? And then it all comes back. So it's fine. It is what it is. Anyway, Nico Harrison should seek witness protection.
Yes.
He should leave for a little bit. You're that rich. Go to a beach, man.
But what?
Get out of Dallas.
But what?
For at least
All-Star break.
a month.
All-Star break, you're good.
The month of February, it's a short month, as you know.
You're asking the black man to leave during his most important time
No,
of
I'm
the year?
asking him to go put himself in a safe place. And like a relaxing place. I mean, he doesn't deserve relaxation because he traded
What's
Luka
going to
Doncic to
happen?
the
He's
Lakers.
got
but-
some more bad deals to make, man. You can't do that from a beach. He has to be in the offices to tell the people to make the bad deals.
I love when I'm going through the rundown and I get a surprise. What CJ's wild Montoya theory?
It's fake. It was staged. It's staged. There is no way if you watch that video that they're actually in the throes of passion. The blanket is, first off, it looks like the sheet and the heavy blanket all the way over them. I don't know if you guys have been in the throes of passion under the sheet and the heavy blanket. You can't breathe. 1, 2, the way that they're going at it, I've done the research, both in my experience and in some of the videos that I went and looked at yesterday to make sure I wasn't tripping. Like the Frequency of the thrust, way too fast, way too high, way too, like, not real. At one point, I can't tell if her body has,
so
like,
enthusiastic.
because I'm excited about this. I can't tell if, like he's doing something on the other side of her body, right? So, like, one leg is open, but one leg is here, and then he's on the outside of that leg, just going to town on the bed. I think it's all fake.
I don't disagree
I think that
with
scene
that.
is fake.
And then
Absolutely.
it's like a ploy to see if he'll then do it.
Yes.
But wouldn't, I mean, like, that's the revenge theory.
He did do it.
Yeah, he did do it.
So, like, yeah.
Was he the one in the pool?
I don't
know. I keep trying to piece these clips. I don't watch the show, and I don't follow it as religiously as some people are following this story. There was something in a pool. Do not look it up on your computer right now.
Look it up right now.
No, go on the phone. We'll talk about it after the show.
It's all connected to the same daggone Wi-Fi. So, like, they know whose phone is looking at this stuff.
It just feels better on your phone.
Does it?
Yeah. There were underwater activities happening.
Oh, that is so unrealistic. Also.
Yes. So then that
That's how you
furthered
get-
my
that's how you
fuel
get
of like, this
urinary
isn't
tract
real.
infections.
Anyway.
Like, that's not good.
Kim Possible got shot in the face. We didn't get to it yesterday.
What a transition.
Well, Christy Carlson Romano herself, Kim Possible, Ren Stevens. She got shot in the face. This is a brutal situation. She shared on Instagram that she was on a shooting trip where the lead fragment from the bullet has to stay in her face right now because surgically removing it could leave her blind. She could fully recover with no issues at all, though she might never be able to get an MRI again. The shot fragment is in her forehead, it's lodged in her skull, and doctors have just decided to leave it. So she and her husband were on a clay pigeon shoot for his birthday. Was unaware that we did this, but like to each their own. You want to go on a clay pigeon shoot for your birthday?
Isn't that when Dick Cheney shot that dude in the face?
Yeah, wasn't that a pigeon?
I don't know if it was clay,
situation?
but it was certainly like a pigeon type thing. But
Well, what guns are you using? Like, this is me. I'm so stupid on this stuff. Like, admittedly, I could read a book about guns because I don't know anything about them. Like, are you using like pellet guns?
I guess so.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
So what kind of bullet is stuck in her face?
I don't. Does it matter? It's a
Can
bullet
you
in her
imagine
face.
planning a surprise, like a surprise experience for your significant other's birthday, and you end up shot in the face? That just feels cruel.
That's awful to try and sit there and imagine. She did a video where she was like, yeah, we were being responsible, but the group next to us wasn't.
Oh, okay.
And just turned and shot me in the face.
Can you imagine if you shot Kim Possible in the face?
No.
If that person is of a certain age, like, you know, she's a well-recognizable former Disney Channel star.
I wouldn't think it was her. Like, if I saw her out and
Really?
about, I wouldn't think it, but I was the one who struggled to identify Angel McCoughtry, and she walked right past me, right?
That's
Like,
true.
I'm just not thinking I'm seeing celebrities
I'm
like
not
that.
good at that either. So maybe I wouldn't know.
But then you shoot her in the face and she screams,
So is
oh
this
no.
like, now I have questions about what a clay pigeon shooting activity involves. Are you in like an arena?
I don't.
Or are you in the woods?
I picture it like Duck Hunt on the Nintendo.
That's the only
like
reference
you're
I
just
have.
in some wooded area somewhere with a little dog who runs out and
Okay, they
makes fun of
fly.
you.
Yeah, so you're...
And is this one of those pool things, right? So not necessarily the duck hunt part of Duck Hunt, but remember you used to shoot the frisbees,
Right.
Where they pull, shoot, turn, and fire.
Yes.
Like is it one of those?
I
type
think
things?
so.
I've seen that in movies.
Special flying targets.
Yeah, I've seen
and
that in
you use
movies.
a shotgun. So it's a real bullet. She could have died.
Yeah, she got shot in the face.
When I saw this, I thought there was like a little like pellet.
Yeah, you were ready to make fun of her,
No.
and rightfully so.
No.
She got shot in the face. She's as hard as 50 Cent. And he only got shot in like the
We
abdomen.
are not giving Christy Carlson Romano cred.
Have you been shot in the face?
Can't say I have.
All right then.
I
she
hope
gets
that
cred.
I never have.
she
I am
gets
going.
cred.
I am going to the other side of the state.
Oh, have fun with that.
I don't want to
what?
accidentally get shot in the face when I go to the Pizza Hut in Murfreesboro.
They're not going to accidentally shoot you in the face in Murfreesboro. You say the wrong thing, they might legitimately shoot you in just outside of Chattanooga, though.
Okay. Well, real quick, because I did want to show this. Just on our way out, we got another sea creature sighting that would lead me to believe things are amiss in our world. the black sea devilfish, which is usually only found in lightless depths of the sea, made what they are calling a first-in-a-lifetime appearance in daylight. This is the first video that we have ever seen of one of these creatures in the light. I always think of Finding Nemo. You see those super sharp teeth. I think they glow in the dark.
Yeah.
They don't need to glow in the dark when they're in the light. The sea is trying to tell us something.
Yeah, it's not good. Which sea is that? The American Sea? Because it's not the American Sea. I don't give a damn about it.
I don't know where it is. That's a good question. It was in Spain's Canary Islands. Montoya's problem.
Yeah, they're fine. Yeah, they're not supposed to do that.
No.
They're not supposed to come up like that. I wonder what the little homie was doing. Also, they're not little. They're effing huge. They're ginormous. So
its official name is the Melanocetus johnsoni.
I just know it as the anglerfish.
Black sea monster.
I just know it as an anglerfish.
He's so scary.
Yeah, don't.
Look at his face.
Jessica, we just showed the people.
Look at his giant teeth. He's so cute. All right. Bye. I'll see you guys next Monday.
Cute.
Lang's here tomorrow with CJ.
That's cute.
They'll have you covered. We'll see. Grizzlies game day tonight. Grizzlies
You don't even
Clippers.
know that ugly ass thing's personality.
He's so cute.
And that's cute.
If not cute, why no pet?
You want to pet that monster?
Bye.
You can't be serious. You know
Bye.
that's
We're all off on Friday, in case Lang forgets to tell you tomorrow.
You know that's ugly.
Is that all the business we have?
That fish needs braces. That's an ugly ass fish. It is ugly.
Love too.
I didn't say you can be ugly and deserve love.